just I'm experimenting here, trying to dial down the intro sound or volume for the intro, since I've had a number of people say that it is playing way too loudly when you first initiate. A couple of the things I'm trying to understand is the programming that I'm using currently to use to create the videos. Uh, it has some options, and I'm not 100% fully functional with them in part, and I don't know how they affect things. I also know that in order to affect the volume manually involves me playing with the audio on my laptop, and I can't diminish or minimize the recording program to do this like I'm used to doing. So I'm using the hotkey on the keyboard to do it, and then reminding myself that I have to dial the sound up afterwards. So hopefully this thing will play out. It's one of the reasons I'm picking a slightly less dramatic entry for the test. In addition to that, I have two videos I shot last weekend, one for MERP and one for Star Wars, that have the old version, and I'm not reshooting them. So, and I apologize for that. So just be prepared that when they prop up, the sound is still working in progress. Okay, so what we have here today is the Galaxy Guide 3, or The Empire Strikes Back for Star Wars. Character profiles with use of the Star Wars role-playing game. Now, keep in mind now, this is 30 years ago, that by today's standards, most of what's in here would be kind of, you could take it or leave it. It's not going to add a whole lot of extra flavor to your Star Wars campaign, but what it does give you is an interesting breakdown of the types of characters and NPCs that are encountered during the movie. So in this case here, Galaxy Guide 3, I paid $12 for it, and this was published in 1989, so 4 years after I graduated high school. We got the introduction dealing with, you know, The Empire Strikes Back, Odyssey Continues. The fellow here is the NPC, or the once a reporter, now is a historian for the Alliance. He's the fellow who's concocting and creating these galaxy guides, were as commissioned by Mom Mothma and others in the Alliance for future posterity. So Hoth profiles, of course, the stats and story behind the Imperial probe droid that starts the movie out. Probing the eye of the Empire. Yeah, I got a little bit of a hoarse voice this weekend for reasons I'm not 100% completely sure of. And I'm drinking apple cider. General Reekin from Hoth Base. Major Derlin, he's the fellow says, "I'm sorry, Princess, but we must close the blast shield doors. It's getting too late." His stats and specifics. Good NPCs to bounce around in background and associated encounters. 2-1D information on the Wampa ice creature, assault on Haas, Echo-based troopers, snow speeder pilots, cold assault stormtroopers, Walker pilots. See, a lot of this stuff has come back in other source books as well, and later installments of other updated material. So you take it as you need it. General Veers, Rebel pilots. There's Wes Jansen. Derek, Javi, Kelvin, Jack Rattler, excuse me. Imperial Fleet profiles. The late Admiral Piet, the late Admiral Uzzle, Captain Nita, First Darth Vader, Star Destroyer officers, bounty hunters, A little bit more detailed information on Boba Fett, Slave 1, Dagobah, Yoda, R2's view of things that happened while on Dagobah, Bespin profiles, Lando Calrissian, Lobot, Bespin guards, citizens of Cloud City, the Ignots, A Girl Lost. Little story. The heroes of Yavin, Princess Leia, of course, Han Solo. Yes, Frankie. Why do you have to push the door the whole way open? Frankie, our shelter cat, has entered the room. It is a dark time. So you see, it's pretty basic and straightforward. There's interesting material. It's a good read just for the sake of it to refresh yourself on the characters in the movie, and some of those characters translate well. You can utilize them as templates for other types of particulars of their nature for a quick and ready reference if necessary for your game. You know, like I said, if you can pick up this thing fairly cheap somewhere, it's worth having for for the backstory stuff. But it's keeping in mind that in the early days when this first come out, it had a lot more muscle to a little bit of degree. I acknowledge this is mostly a fluff piece, you know, oh, I loathe using the term, but this, whatever you want to call it, but they were just looking to make money and stuff. But even so, that said, this isn't a bad module. So until next time, this is Rick.